Islanders now trailing in the series 3-1. They're not out of it yet. It's do or die from here on out. They came to play, it seemed like, in the third period, Thomas, but that sense of urgency, was it just not there from the get-go, or was it something that Carolina was doing a little differently down the stretch?
Yeah, there was the 3 minutes before the penalties took over, and I thought they came out, they looked ready, but that can change the effect in the course of the entire game. And there's no really way to put a spin on this other than Carolina showed up, and now they've taken a firm grip on this series. And you said it, the Islanders aren't out of it, but you're playing with your backs against the wall now, and I think the determining factor in tonight's game, Carolina's top guys were their top guys. You look at Aho, you look at Marty Necas, seemed to have the puck all night, a couple big goals from Seth Jarvis and Eric Stahl, and Jordan Stahl and Jacob Slavin, defensive stalwarts. They really took away time and space from this Islanders team. They were the better group, and they deserved the win tonight.
Well, the Islanders did not have a lead in this hockey game. Let's take a look at how it played out this afternoon. Carolina pushed early, and they had goals often as well. It started with a 5-on-3 power play goal from Seth Jarvis, one of two in this hockey game.
Yeah, you get down 5-on-3, you're hoping for a big kill, but if you look on the other side of it, it's a moment that you must have if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, and they had that moment, sort of a funky play with Brent Burns not getting everything on that puck, but all of a sudden, after a nice 3 minutes to start and a ton of emotion, a ton of intensity in the building, you find yourselves clawing back and sort of got an uphill road to get this game back into the course that you'd like it to go.
Well, Carolina scored twice on the power play, including this one from Marty Necas, a minute and 15 seconds into the middle stanza.
Yeah, and I thought Necas was probably their best player all night, as was Sebastian Aho. But this is one. Necas is up top, close to Brent Burns. He's not even in your picture. And next thing you look, he's on the back door with the tap in. And not many guys are going to miss from there, and not many goaltenders are going to be able to get that one. As you see Necas come down from the point to the back door and seemingly uncovered as no one really knew whose guy he was. Nice design play by Carolina. And at that point, 2-0. You need something if you're the Islanders, and you get to this point of the game, you're just trying to establish something as you head into the second half of the game, and right away, Mackenzie McEachern, this guy hasn't played in the NHL all season long, a huge contribution from him tonight.
Well, the first two for Carolina were on the power play. After that, even strength hockey 5-on-5 took over as the Hurricanes did more damage. The Islanders found themselves down 3-0 with that Aho goal, and then in the third period, Jarvis with his second of the game. This one came just a minute and 20 seconds into the third.
Yeah, you're looking to get yourself back in the game, looking to get a chance, and you don't need everything all in the first minute of the third period. And you see everyone's pressing, everyone wants to get back in the game now. And the point is, you can't get back in the game right now. You've got to chip away, even though you're down big at that point. That sealed it for Carolina.
We talked about defensive scoring right off the bat this afternoon, and Adam Pelech scoring his first of these Stanley Cup playoffs to make it a little bit less of a deficit.
Yeah, and I was talking about in between the second and third about playing down there, trying to find a way to sustain some time below their goal line, below the tops of the circles. And you see as this puck comes in, it's sort of a lucky bounce for the Islanders as they try to give it back to their goalie, and Adam Pelech doing a great job following up the play. Most guys are back at the blue line. He's pressing. He knows they needed one. A nice finish by Adam, but right away you see Carolina follows this up, and Seth Jarvis with a chance looking for his third of the night. And Mackenzie McEachern gets on the board. I mentioned him, his first game of the year. And when you go down to 11 forwards early on with Jack Drury coming out, you're looking for someone to step up, and probably the most unlikely guy just because he hasn't even been in the series. And he finds this one, and I think for Ilya Sorokin, probably not his best night, but you watch this puck, this is rolling. It's extremely difficult for a goalie to pick up where this release is going to come with a rolling puck, and that really sealed it. The one positive note at the end of the game there, you see Bo Horvat going to get an opportunity and get a breakaway and score, and we're not going to show that. It was right at the end, but maybe the one thing you can take away from that, I know it was a nothing goal, but for Bo Horvat getting on the score sheet in this series, and when it goes back to Raleigh, you're looking at your very top guys to be your very best players. Yeah,
you talked right off the top about Carolina looking for their big players to come through, and they did in this hockey game. Sebastian Aho was all over the place. Brent Burns played well. You take a look at those numbers. I mean, Marty Necas had a great afternoon. Seth Jarvis with 2 goals. Really, the Hurricanes had the guys that they needed to come play with show up in this one.
Yeah, and certainly these aren't the guys we want to talk about, but they were the story of the game. Sebastian Aho has been very good all series long, seems to always stick his nose in it. And Marty Natchez, that guy had the puck more than anyone tonight. I thought he was really good. Brent Burns has been a factor the entire series, and you get contributions from a guy like Seth Jarvis. And when you look at that graphic, you look ahead to Game 5, and you're going to want to see Horvat, Barzal. You're going to want to see Brock Nelson. You're going to want to see probably Noah Dobson, and Ilya Sorokin's going to have to shut the door from here on out. But this is a group that has played with their backs against the walls getting into the playoffs. They're no stranger to tough spots and tough times, and they're going to have to dig deep and find it. And I do believe that they have that in the room to at least go out in Carolina, and you just play one game at a time. You live one day at a time, and you try to extend your season. And obviously, it seems like a tall task, but you go get a win on the road, which Carolina was the first team to do in this series. All of a sudden, you come back into your home building with an atmosphere like it was in Game 3. You're going to give yourself an opportunity. So I think Lane's going to be a little upset when we do get to speak to him, but you're going to have to turn the page quite quickly and understand that the better team won today, and you've got one more opportunity, one crack at it to be the better team in Game 5.
You guys were flying, hitting the bodies, shots. Had a good period. What changed in your mind?
What changed? Well, they popped one early in the second, down 2, and we just didn't get back to that. We had some good looks, created some good momentum, but tonight we were killing, broke up our flow a little bit, and then they got another one too. So now you're down 3, and I think the penalties tonight just kind of killed our 5-on-5 flow. And as a power play, you got to be able to find one. We got to be quicker with the puck. We got to move it. Got to move it and get it to the net. We've had success when we do that, but we didn't have that tonight.
They don't give you a lot, so you really have to capitalize when you get those opportunities, right?
Yeah, you have to capitalize, but you saw some mistakes out there tonight that we made that we haven't been making in this series, and it bit us. So we'll regroup here, go do a job, and do our best to make sure we come and have another game in this building.
How do you just rebound and come up with that same effort that you did the last game?
We have to. It's what it is. It's playoff hockey. We'll be ready to go, and we're going to be coming just like we have been. Unfortunately, tonight we just, like I said, our mistakes just bit us tonight, and they capitalized when they had those.
We've been doing a lot of good things, but I think it's been a lot of perimeter stuff where I think we can get to the blue paint a little bit more and maybe not try to be as fancy and try to get more pucks and bodies towards the net. I just don't think we're creating enough havoc there sometimes. But again, it's just we got to find ways to stay out of the box too to gain that momentum and get our line out there more consistently. 5-on-5, because when we do, we're getting our chances. It's just a matter of it, staying consistent with that.
How do you feel where your game is at?
I think I can be a lot better, to be honest with you. I think I'm doing a lot of good things away from the puck and winning my face-offs and doing all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I got to find ways, to score big goals or get on the score sheet. Not in a 5-1 game or a 5-2 game. I got to find ways to make it meaningful, and I got to be better.
Well, the first period, you guys are throwing the body around, you're getting shots. What changed?
Again, I think we're like I said, we're playing hard. We're doing a lot of the right things, but I think we just got to stay a little bit more disciplined within our aggressiveness. We're taking too many penalties, and at the end of the day, it's killing our momentum and getting 4 lines rolling. That's when we're at our best, when everybody's going, when everybody's on the ice, when everybody's contributing. And right now, when you're wasting energy killing penalties, it's going to kill you.
How do you rebound knowing, your back's up against the wall and now you got to go down there into that building?
Yeah, we got to play desperate. At the end of the day, it's win or go home, or you're done. So we got to play with that mindset and play smart about it and be ready to go here in a couple days.
I know that energy, and all of a sudden you find yourself killing 5-on-3 right away, and they bury one. A little deflating, but at the same time, there's a lot of game left. But there's you got to overcome different things, whether it's calls you don't like, bounces that don't go your way. So we'll have to make that, be better from that standpoint for the next game.
2 last questions, guys.
Zach, you guys in the first period flying around, hitting shots. Is there some bad penalties that turn the momentum?
Yeah, I think so. Again, 5-on-5. Had a good start, but again, when you find yourself down, killing 5-on-3 right away, and they capitalize. It's deflating, but I still think our start was fine. There's a lot of hockey to be played after that. There's 50 minutes to play, so we got to respond next game.
Lane, 16 hits and 9 shots in the first period. In your opinion, what changed as you went to the second and third?
Well, I thought we started the game well, to your point, and it shifted a little bit. The 5-on-3 that they got, the Parise penalty, certainly, I thought he got pushed in. Chatfield pushed him into the goaltender, so sometimes that happens, and then next thing you know, we're down 5-on-3. Momentum shifted a little bit. I thought we got it back, and then then the penalty at the end of the first period hurt us. We made a mistake on the penalty kill. So when it was we had a power play where the same type of thing happened to Barzal with Burns, but he got embellishment, and I don't understand that. But I thought penalties hurt us.
What do you tell the guys in the locker room, or what's the mindset as you go now back to Carolina down 3-1?
Well, it's the same mindset as we have and have had. And it's the same thing I say after every game, win or lose, get ready for the next game.
Bo Horvat said after the game that he thinks he can be a lot better. What are you seeing that's preventing him from maybe having more of an impact on the series so far?
Well, I think that the effort is there. There's no question about it. So that is never in question. Using his legs, and when we talked about him, and the fact that he was playing well, I thought he was skating better through the neutral zone. So he'll continue to progress.
What have been the challenges? Like what can they do better? If you say the effort's there, what has to improve for him to get on the score sheet other than the shorthanded goal?
Well, I mean, put it this way: it's not just him. It's the unit, and it's like any other line. Lines have to work together. They have to have they have to be tight. And have tight support against this hockey team. You need tight support because they're on you.
Are you considering making changes to the first power play unit?
We'll think about that after.
What's been the thought behind keeping them together? Obviously, Barzal got back at the start of the series, but that aside, it's been the same for other players for a pretty good period of time without much results.
Well, they're the guys that they're the guys that should be on the power play, and they're the guys that have to get it done.
You surprised maybe some of your guys didn't show a little more on-ice discipline, the penalty at the end of the first period, maybe the Nelson interference call there.
Yeah, I thought we took a couple undisciplined penalties, no question.
How does that, kind of maybe slow the momentum as the game's going on if you guys don't stay out of the box?
Well, it totally slowed our momentum. It changed momentum a little bit. The power play goal they scored, the second one, was a real stinger.
Cizikas okay after the game? Or?
I haven't seen him.
You made changes to your lineup, the lines late in the third. You got a pretty good push there. What were you seeing from Barzal with Parise and Fasching and the other change you made?
Well, we had to change something up. The facts were is that we weren't generating enough at certain moments, so we'll see where we go from here.